Joining us right now is the Gatestone Institute Senior Fellow and author of The Coming Collapse of China and the Great U.S.-China Tech War. Gordon Chang is here. Gordon, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here. So we've been talking about all of this reliance on the CCP that this country has, whether it be from, prescription drugs to semiconductor chips. What do you make of this bill? And do you think this is going to help the U.S. gain more independence when it comes to producing this very important product?
No one likes industrial policies, Maria, but this bill is a good thing because we're in competition with a country which has an industrial policy on technology, specifically semiconductors, that could very well damage and maybe damage permanently America's semiconductor companies. So, yes, I think this is a good thing. Now, China's semiconductor policies have been a disaster internally. But Xi Jinping, the Chinese ruler, is extremely determined. And despite the mistakes in the past, he could actually put the United States in a very disadvantageous position. So, yes, I like this.
Yeah, are we doing anything about that to protect the United States? Should Xi Jinping put the U.S. in a tough position? I mean, let's face it, they have been flying jets into Taiwan airspace now for a year. Taiwan is one of the major hubs to produce semiconductors. What are you expecting to take place here, and how can the U.S. protect itself?
Well, the U.S. can protect itself by doing something very simple, and that is encouraging companies to bring their factories back home. And unfortunately, the Biden administration is going in the wrong way on this with, for instance, its June 6th waiver on solar panel tariffs, as well as its expected lifting of the Section 301 tariffs. Those are dog whistles to American companies to keep their factories on Chinese soil. So in this sense, the Biden administration doesn't understand the seriousness of the challenge. We need our factories back here. And it's not just semiconductors, it's also pharmaceuticals, as you point out. China is aiming for self-sufficiency. They don't want to be dependent on us. And we should not want to be dependent on them. It's as simple as that. This is really dangerous, Maria, because Xi Jinping has some pretty malicious plans.
It really is dangerous. Talk to us about those malicious plans. We just had a whole conversation. Morgan Ortagus is here. She was at the State Department during COVID, and she had to alert the world as to what the State Department was thinking in terms of where COVID came from. We don't know the origins of COVID for sure because Joe Biden refuses to press Xi Jinping on a real investigation, and the Chinese Communist Party will not allow a real investigation. What's the overall plan here from the CCP standpoint?
Well, the overall plan is to assert sovereignty over the entire planet Earth, as well as the moon and Mars. And yes, I know that most people think that that is just absurd, but we have to listen to what Chinese officials are actually saying. And with regard to the virus, and I heard Morgan talk about this before, and she's a real hero. The point here is that wherever this disease came from, and I believe it did come from the lab, but wherever it came from, we know that the Chinese leaders deliberately made decisions to spread this disease beyond China's borders. And so that means that 1,025,000 or so Americans who have been killed from COVID-19, each one of those is a murder, as well as the 6.4 million people outside of China who have been killed by this disease. They lied about contagiousness, and while locking down their own country, they were telling people like Deborah Birx not to lock down the U.S. And so clearly that shows malign intent.
Yeah, and let's not forget, James Freeman, jump in here, but let's not forget the other thing that the CCP is doing, manufacturing fentanyl and sending it into America. So there's that.
Terrible. And I think we're in agreement on the threat that the Chinese Communist Party represents, Gordon. But this idea, I just do have to question you on whether the government funding and trying to assist our semiconductor industry is the way to go here. I mean, isn't our big advantage over China that we don't have the government running our technology industry as to the extent they do? We have had a lot of success, and we've led the world because we don't have the government running it. And I know you're familiar with the failed attempts by the federal government to help our chip industry in the 1980s. Isn't this money going to distort markets, possibly bring more bureaucracy from Washington with it, and largely end up being wasted?
Well, I don't know about being wasted, but your indictment is obviously correct. But the point is, countries with industrial policies can do great damage to countries with only free market policies in the short term. Now, in the long term, you're right. Countries with free markets always prevail. But the point is, in this competition with China, James, there may be no long term. This is far more urgent than people think.
Yeah.
We have to compete with China now. We've got to compete in the same way they're competing with us.
Yeah.
And I know this is not what free marketers want to hear, but this is extremely urgent.
Yeah, we're all concerned about it, Gordon. We understand. Thank you so much for all of the work you're doing on this topic, Gordon. Great to see you this morning, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.